One of the largest overnight strikes hit Beit Lahyia in the north of Gaza. Nearly 100 Palestinians were killed and dozens were injured there. Civil defense crews are searching through the wreckage of residential buildings, and the death toll is expected to rise. The Israeli military is continuing its siege of northern Gaza, with the United Nations warning Palestinians are being forced to endure unspeakable horrors. Hind Khoudary is in Deir el-Balah in central Gaza. Hind, let's first of all start with the aftermath from those strikes in Beit Lahyia. What sort of image is becoming clearer?
Sami, till this minute, till now, the civil defense teams and the ambulances are trying to rescue people. They're trying to pull the bodies of those that are trapped. But let's also remember that the civil defense teams are working with the bare minimum of tools, and sometimes they use their own bare hands without any equipment to rescue people as much as they can. Now, another thing we need to know is the Israeli forces just targeted a horse cart that killed at least 5 Palestinians and the horse, and others were injured. Now, all of these who are taken into Beit Lahyia, we're talking about 73 Palestinians killed that were transferred into the hospitals, but we're talking about 5 families. Most of them are missing their beloved ones under the rubble. Those who are injured are in critical situation, and we're talking about hospitals that do not have any medical supplies, no medicine. They barely have fuel to operate their ICU units and the surgery units. So the situation is very catastrophic. Now, this is happening in Beit Lahyia, and according to eyewitnesses and locals there, they said that this is one of the hardest and the most horrifying nights during the 16-day siege on the Northern Gaza Strip. Now, the situation is still escalating, and the airstrikes and the artillery shelling continues in those areas, Sami.
Explain to us, Hind, what an unspeakable horror, those are the words being used by the UN, what that looks like right now on the ground in northern Gaza.
Sami, let me tell you that we just received news and footage of Israeli soldiers asking people in UN shelters, in schools, to evacuate them. They're taking all the men, arresting them, interrogating them. They're leaving their children without their parents and leaving them cry. And all of this is happening while people do not have any food, no water, no medicine. They're calling the ICRC and the civil defense teams and the ambulances, asking them for protecting them or giving them any food, anything. And this is not happening. And not only that, there are the airstrikes, the artillery shelling, the quadcopters. The Israeli snipers are on the ground, so Palestinians could not move to a place to another to search for food, for example, neither for water. And not only that, the Israeli soldiers are literally invading their houses, invading their shelters, and asking them to leave. We have been seeing footage, humiliating footage of Palestinians holding their ID cards, going out of schools. We do not know what's going to happen with them. We saw this happening in different areas across the past year. Some of them have been arrested, some of them have been missing, and we see families here in the southern Gaza Strip being very worried, not able to reach any of their family members in the northern Gaza Strip on all aspects, Sami, on the health situation, on the food security situation, on the safety itself, and the ongoing airstrikes. Gaza Strip and the northern Gaza Strip is struggling on all aspects right now. And imagine 16 days of this siege without any food, any water, no medical intervention, nothing. And those Palestinians need to cope, and they also need to stay alive, Sami.
Thanks so much to Hind Khoudary there, reporting to us from Deir el-Balah.